we discuss about the AC polyp, enteroconal polyp. Today we will be discussing the ethmoidal polyp. In last class, I told about the definitions, etiopathogenesis, and different type of nasal polyp. So we have already discussed about the enteroconal polyp. The another type of nasal polyp is the ethmoidal polyp. Ethmoidal polyp. Whatever the polyp, whatever the type of polyp, whatever the definition is same, you have to include at least 3 terms that in last class I have described: hypertrophic, edematous, and pedunculated mass of mucosa of nose and paranasal sinus. Now, what is ethmoidal polyp? Why it is called ethmoidal polyp? The ethmoidal polyp, unlike the enteroconal polyp, ethmoidal polyp appears at any age after the age of 2 years. But enteroconal polyp usually occur in children, elderly, able compine. So the ethmoidal polyp appear at any age after the age of 2. The male is to female ratio. In case of ethmoidal polyp, male is to female ratio is almost approximately 2:1. Can you see me? Approximately male is to female ratio is 2:1. Etiology of ethmoidal polyp is also almost same as the enteroconal polyp. Still, the exact etiology for the both type of the nasal polyp is not known. The most common cause of ethmoidal polyp is allergy. So why we think that allergy may be one of the commonest cause of ethmoidal polyp? Why? Allergic processes acting locally on the nasal mucosa combined or associated with infection were probably significant factor in the genesis of nasal polyp. 7%, approximately 7% of patients with asthma, 7% of patients with asthma means bronchial asthma, are of atopic so most of the time we think that allergy may be one of the commonest cause of genesis of ethmoidal polyp. Other causes, in last class I have described about the etiology of nasal polypi. Infection, just I am recapitulating. Infection. 3 is vasomotor imbalance. Last class I have mentioned about this all thing. Thus I am recapitulating. Vasomotor imbalance. 4 is Bernoulli's phenomenon. 5 is polysaccharide theory. Most probably in last class I have not told about polysaccharide theory. Spelling is polysaccharide. Polysaccharide theory. In last class, most probably I have not told about polysaccharide theory. What is this? Jackson and air hood. Both of them hypothesize that due to some endocrine enzymatic abnormality, polysaccharide of the ground substance accumulate which absorb water leading to polyp formations. Though these all are theory only. They are not exactly you cannot say this is the cause of polyp, but this all are theory. So what about the polysaccharide theory? Polysaccharide theory is Jackson and Airwood. Both of them hypothesize that due to some endocrine enzymatic abnormality, polysaccharide of the ground substance accumulate which absorb water leading to polyp formations. Another theory is polypeptide theory. Polypeptide theory. You have to remember all these theories because there is no exact known causes. What is this? Substance P accumulate, which is a vasodilator and accumulate water leading to polyp formations. Now, today I will describe another thing is aspirin hypersensitivity. How it causes aspirin hypersensitivity. How it causes polyp. Aspirin hypersensitivity. In last class, I have reserved this topic. So there is a syndrome called Sumter's triad. Sumter's triad. In medical science, you will get lots of triad. Triad means there will be existence of 3 symptoms. So in Sumter's triad, there will be nasal polyp. Second will be aspirin hypersensitivity. Third is bronchial asthma. So what happened? The Sumter's triad is thought to be due to an enzyme deficiency in the cyclooxygenase pathway of prostaglandin synthesis. You know the prostaglandin synthesis in your biochemistry class. How it occurs. Prostaglandin synthesis, how it occurs. Cyclooxygenase pathway. So from where the prostaglandin synthesis occurs? So you know that biochemical reaction, arachidonic acid. Thus you can memorize arachidonic acid. This arachidonic acid. There are 2 pathways. One is cyclooxygenase pathway, COX pathway, and another is lipooxygenase pathway. Oxygenase pathway. By cyclooxygenase pathway, there will be, due to presence of COX, cyclooxygenase 1 or cyclooxygenase 2 enzyme, there will be production of prostaglandin G2, then prostaglandin H2. Then you know this all this from your biochemistry. Prostaglandin D2, prostaglandin E2, prostaglandin F2 alpha, and prostacyclin PGI2, that is, and thromboxane TXA2. These all are prostaglandin derivatives. So in case of cyclooxygenase pathway, from arachidonic acid, there will be COX pathway, either by COX1 or COX2, there will be production of derivatives of prostaglandins. Now, what happened in case of aspirin? Aspirin, what do it? Aspirin inhibit this cyclooxygenase pathway, inhibit. If the patient is aspirin hypersensitive, then that individual will be there will be inhibition of this cyclooxygenase pathway. There will be reduced production of this prostaglandin synthesis. In spite of this, due to reduction of the prostaglandin synthesis, due to inhibition by the aspirin in the cyclooxygenase pathway, there will be overproduction of the liquidins through the lipooxygenase pathway. What here occur in lipooxygenase pathway? There will production of liquidin A4, then liquidin C4, then liquidin E4, then lipoxin A4, then lipoxin B4. This liquidin products are pro-inflammatory mediators. These are pro-inflammatory mediators. So in the presence of aspirin, which inhibit the cyclooxygenase pathway, the normal balance between cyclooxygenase pathway and lipooxygenase pathway is become disrupted. This creates a systemic reaction similar to anaphylaxis. 1 minute, please. 1 minute. So what happened? That anaphylaxis reactions and that all symptoms lead to episode of bronchial asthma, genesis of nasal polyp. So all the symptoms constantly we refer to as Sumter's triad. Now, symptoms, clinical features of ethmoidal polyp. So clinical features little bit different from the enteroconal polyp because the pathology behind the both of these two type of polyp are different. What will be the clinical features of ethmoidal polyp? Symptoms. Whenever we say clinical features, you have to divide your answers as one is symptom and one is sign. Okay. So what happened? In case of ethmoidal polyps, symptoms will be there will be definitely a nasal obstruction. Thus, you memorize previous one. In case of ethmoidal polyp, the nasal obstruction will be bilateral and progressive. In last class, I told about the nasal obstruction in enteroconal polyp. In nasal obstruction, in enteroconal polyp is usually unilateral. Initially unilateral, which may progress to bilateral. But in case of ethmoidal polyp, the nasal obstructions from initial it is bilateral. Why it is bilateral? Why the nasal obstructions in the ethmoid polyp is bilateral? As because ethmoidal polyp arise from the ethmoidal air cells. Thus you remember ethmoidal polyp ethmoidal polyp arises from ethmoidal air cells. Ethmoidal number of ethmoidal air cells is almost 6 to 16. Number of ethmoidal air cells is 6 to 16. And it involve the ethmoidal polyp involve both side of ethmoidal air cells of the both side. That's why the nasal obstructions occur in the both nasal airway. Secondly, anosmia or hyposmia. Last class on moi koislo duitate eke hoy. Basically anosmia hoৱাৰ chance to বেছি in case of ethmoidal polyp due to complete obstruction to the nasal airway. Thirdly, ethmoidal polyp. In ethmoidal polyp, what happened? Ethmoidal polyp, multiple polyp occur at any age. Just remember last class that endoconal polyp occurs as solitary polyp. Etai polyp take endoconal, but here you'll get multiple polyp. For there will be headache either due to the karone hobo pare. One is due to the sinusitis, associated sinusitis. Jetia it polyp hobo, there will be associated sinusitis. Other is pressure effect from the polyp. Sneezing and watery nasal discharge thakibo. Sneezing and watery nasal discharge. Sneezing and watery nasal discharge. 6. Bleeding. In last class also I told that you should not mention about the bleeding in case of polyp. If the bleeding is present, the diagnosis of nasal polyp is always doubtful. So what will be sign? Sign in case of ethmoidal polyp will be external. One will be external nasal deformity. That external nasal deformity is called frog nose deformity. Why it is called frog nose deformity? As because due to the bilateral nasal polyp, there will be broadening of the nose in the root of the nose, at the root of the nose, and leading to the shape of the nose of a frog. That's why it is called frog nose deformity. Then in Cole spatula test, and another one is cotton wool test. Both these tests are tests for nasal patency. In case of ethmoidal polyp, since there will be bilateral nasal obstructions, if we do Cole spatula test, there will be absent fogging bilaterally. And in case of cotton wool test, there will be no movement of cotton wool bilaterally. But in case of SE polyp, it will be different, as because in case of SE polyp, one nostril always remain patent till advanced. In case of advanced endoconal polyp, there may be bilateral nasal obstructions that mimic ethmoidal polyp. Okay. Then next, on anterior rhinoscopy ki koriba. On anterior rhinoscopy, মোৰ কথাখিনি শুনি পাইছানে ক্লিয়াৰ আছে নে
Yes, sir.
Okay. On anterior rhinoscopy, how it look like? In anterior rhinoscopy, ethmoidal polyp. In anterior rhinoscopy, ethmoidal polyp appears. Ethmoidal polyps appears as grape-like appearance. Grape-like appearance. Bilaterally. তুমি যদি আঙুৰৰ থোপাটো উলিয়াই লোৱা আঙুৰৰ থোপাটো উলিয়াই ললে এনেকা হয় না ইয়াত এটা আঙুৰ হল ইয়াত এটা আঙুৰ হল ইয়াত এটা আঙুৰ হল এনেকে এনেকে একচুয়ালি কি হয় কোভিড হেল্ল ডিডিমল কোৱাচোন মই ক্লাছ লৈ আছো পিছত ফোন কৰিবা so since the ethmoidal air cells are almost 6 to 16 in number 6 to 16 in number so almost all the ethmoidal air cells are involved and the polyp arise from all the ethmoidal air cells it like a just like a grape এই আঙুৰৰ টুপাটো যেনেকে আমি উঠাই লওনো এনেকে এনেকে দেখি so it's look like a grape like appearance and multiple eta ke nupua multiple baba multiple and the surface is smooth shiny bluish soft mobile and pedunculated mass again ekini bad dio apart from this what will happen it is insensitive to touch insensitive to touch this insensitive to touch is a common finding of both types of polyp in endoconal polyp also it is insensitive touch as due to poor sensory nerve fibers and ek minute roba sorry so insensitive touch is due to the lack of sensory nerve supply this are one finding then again retracted tympanic membrane in case of long standing chest due to the eustachian tube dysfunction nasal obstruction there will be eustachian tube dysfunction there will be retracted tympanic membrane on otoscopy retracted tympanic membrane in long standing cases sometimes what happens sometimes polyp may protrude from the nostril and appear peeing and vascular just like a neoplasm due to the exposure to the exterior and nasal cavity sometimes may have purulent discharge. So for diagnosis, what we do? To diagnose, we have to examine the cases clinically. Apart from the clinical diagnosis, by clinical examination, we can diagnose whether it is SE polyp or ethmoidal polyp. So apart from clinical diagnosis, clinical judgment, we have to confirm our diagnosis by means of radiographical tests, by radiology. What radiological investigation we do? One is X-ray PNS. What view we use? This Waters view. Waters view. From X-ray PNS, what information we can get at? One is extent of the disease. Extent of the disease. Extent of the disease. If there is bony erosions, usually what happen in case of polyp, either it is SE polyp or ethmoidal polyp, there will be no bony erosions. If bony erosion is present, then the clinical diagnosis of SE polyp or ethmoidal polyp is doubtful, and our diagnosis has to be reconsidered again. Then to exclude malignancy. And this is one of the baseline investigations. So in case of ethmoidal polyp, what we can see in X-ray PNS, we will find a homogeneous opacity occupying the nasal cavity. Nasal cavity. Secondly, widening of the ethmoidal labyrinth. Labyrinth. Thirdly, widening of the nasal cavity. Bone thinning and expansion. This is due to the pressure effect. Expansion and sometimes mucosal formation. X-ray PNS করিম, what we will see? আমি এটা বস্তু চালে নহব. We will see about if there is homogeneous opacity occupying the nasal cavity is present or not. Widening of the ethmoidal labyrinth is there or not, or widening of the nasal cavity and bone thinning and expansions. These are due to the pressure effect, and if there is mucosal formations, yes or not. Then nowadays, what we do? Nowadays, we have better option of radiographical examinations. CT scan, NOS and PNS. The CT scan, NOS and PNS will is better radiographical examination than X-ray PNS. So what we will see if we do CT scan, NOS and PNS in case of ethmoidal polyp. Sorry. What can we find out? This is hyperdense or hypodense appearance. appearance associated hypertrophy of turbinates, and deviated bony septum. Bony erosion may be seen in case of severe cases. Bony erosion is a feature of either malignancy or other inverted papilloma, etc. So these are radiological findings. What other investigation we will do? Apart from radiological investigations, we will do other investigation also. Actually, in case of management of nasal polyp, we have to do a battery of tests. One is radiological investigations. This is one. Two, hematological investigation. So third, nasal endoscopic evaluation. Nasal endoscopic evaluation, and then as a part of management, treatment will become later on. So radiological investigation, I have told about two types. One is X-ray, PNS. Another is CT, NOS, and PNS. So hematological investigation, you have to do the routine investigation. What are the routine investigation? We do CBC, complete blood count, random blood sugar, AFT, TSS, thyroid stimulating hormone, PTA, PTT, INR, and other common investigations. And nasal endoscopic evaluation, how we do it? Nasal endoscopic evaluations, we do a diagnostic nasal endoscopy. How we do it? We do it with the rigid nasal endoscope, 0-degree nasal endoscope, and I will show you one video so that you can understand about the diagnostic nasal endoscope. Thus, I will share one video with diagnostic nasal endoscopy. Okay. Okay, I will share you. Can you see my screen now?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Can you
Yes,
see
sir.
my screen endoscopy?
Yes, sir.
So what we do here, patient will be lie down in supine position with approximately 15-degree elevation of the head end, and the patient's nasal cavity will be anesthetized by cottonoids soaked in 4% lignocaine. After that, we examine the nasal cavity proper with rigid nasal endoscope 30-degree. So during the examinations, we examine the nasal cavity proper, septum, and lateral wall of the nose, sinus opening, paranasal sinus openings, and the nasopharynx. Just I will play the video. Can you see the video?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how we examine by nasal endoscopy, the nasal cavity. So we'll go inside and examine the nasal septum, then the sinus openings in lateral nasal wall. Then we will proceed towards the nasopharynx to see any. This is nasopharynx. We can see up this nasopharynx. This is hypertrophic adenoid. You can see here the hypertrophic adenoid. So we have to examine the patient with a rigid nasal endoscope before we going for surgery, to confirm our diagnosis and to confirm the diagnosis, that diagnosis made by clinically and the diagnosis made by the radiological investigations. You can see the adenoid here in the nasopharynx. There is no polyp. Just I am showing that how we perform the diagnostic nasal endoscopy. Okay. So the diagnostic nasal endoscopy will come many times later on also. Okay. So you can see my screen again.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wait. So what treatment we do? There are two modalities of treatment. One is conservative approach and one is surgical approach. What conservative approach we do? Before we go for treatment, we will go for differential diagnosis. At least you have to know the differential diagnosis of the polyp, nasal polyp. So wait, what are the differential diagnosis? Cause of nasal, cause of unilateral nasal obstructions and cause of bilateral nasal obstruction. You have to know that. So causes of unilateral nasal obstructions. Unilateral nasal obstruction. What are the causes of unilateral nasal obstruction? You have to divide it as at the level of nasal vestibule, at the level of nasal vestibule, or at the level of nasal cavity proper. Sorry, nasal cavity proper. Nasal cavity proper. At the level of nasal vestibule, what are the different diseases that may mimic unilateral nasal obstructions? One is pharynculosis. If pharyncle occur in the nasal vestibule, then in one vestibule there will be unilateral nasal obstructions. Vestibulitis. That's disease ketar naam keta monor rakha karon hude porikha debur egal man to monor rakhi monora. At least 3/4 you have to memorize. Stenosis of nares, anterior nares. Stenosis of anterior nares. Then papilloma. Then squamous cell carcinoma is in the nasal vestibule. Then nasal cavity proper ki karone nasal obstruction hobo pare. Unilateral nasal obstruction de. In case of AC polyp, you have to differentiate. It is not obstruction is not due to AC polyp. It is due to other cause. You have to differentiate. One is foreign body. নাকত যদি কিবা বাচ্চা এটা ভৰাই দিয়ে নাকটো বন্ধ হৈ থাকিব এটা সাইডত তো ডিএনএস সেকেন্ডলি ডিএনএস ডেভিয়েটেড নেজাল septum হাইপাৰট্ৰফিড ইনফিৰিয়ৰ টাৰ্বিনেট যদি থাকে খুব ডাঙৰ টাৰ্বিনেট যদি থাকে তেতিয়াও এটা সাইডে খুব নাক বন্ধ হ'ব পাৰে দেন কংকা বুলোসা কি হয় it is a enlarged middle turbinate AC polyp etu janai nasal synechiae mane there will be adhesion of the lateral wall of the nose to a septum. There is nasal synechiae of one side of the nasal cavity. You will get unilateral nasal obstructions. Then rhinolith, then bleeding polypus of the septum, polypus of the septum. So we have to remember 3/4 continuously, otherwise what will happen? পৰীক্ষা ধৰি দিয়ে তিনটা চাইটা আমাৰ মনত ৰাখিলে হৈ যায় এগাল মানটো মনত ৰাখিব নোৱাৰো এটো চিয়ৰ so treatment you have to remember there are two modalities of treatment in case of there are treatment of nasal polyp there are two modalities of treatment. One is conservative approach, one is surgical. Conservative আমি কি করব conservative since there is a theory allergy may be one of the positive factor for the nasal polyp, either AC polyp or ethmoidal polyp, which is more commonly for ethmoidal polyp. We always start one systemic antihistamine in case of conservative treatment. Antihistamine, one systemic antihistamine. Secondly, intranasal corticosteroid eta start koro. Intranasal corticosteroid. And thirdly, systemic corticosteroid. So systemic antihistamine, what systemic antihistamine we use commonly? Either fexofenadine, cetirizine, fexofenadine. এইবোৰৰ ক্লাছিফিকেশন মোৰ পঢ়ি লবা এইবোৰ মই বেলেগকে নকম fexofenadine, levetiracetam, then basically aru কি আছে then intranasal corticosteroid কি হয় the corticosteroid is delivered directly into the inside the nose and commonly used intranasal corticosteroid is fluticasone. Sometimes the intranasal corticosteroid is combined with the intranasal antihistamine also, fluticasone plus azalastin. And systemic corticosteroid, you know, different type of systemic corticosteroid, either oral or intravenous. Orally, usually we use prednisolone, methylprednisolone, or nowadays sometimes deflazacort. Then intravenous usually not commonly used. Still, if we use then dexamethasone. Usually less commonly used. This is less commonly used. Dexamethasone, hydrocortisone, and injectable methylprednisolone we seldom use. So this is this is the conservative treatment. So actually, what we do, although surgery is necessary in most of the cases, conservative treatment plays an essential part in the management of any patient with nasal polyp, and on occasion may alone sometime resolve the nasal polyp. কিছুমান পেশেন্টত আমি সার্জারি নকৰাকে ৰিজলভ কৰিব পাৰো, but still, and some patient may not respond to topical steroid. This may be due to inadequate intranasal distribution of the nasal spray in very blocked nose. নাকটো বন্ধ হৈ থাকে, তাত গৈ নাপায়গে. Responsiveness can then be achieved after a short course of systemic chemotherapy. The systemic this corticosteroid. Then intranasal steroid will not eliminate the polyp, but the treatment with the intranasal steroid will really reduce their size. So surgery ki korbo ami? What surgery we perform for the nasal polyp? One is nasal polypectomy korbo ami. Simple nasal polypectomy. One, polypectomy boli kobo para. Second is nowadays commonly used term is FESS, FESS. Kolkat ko huda hoy. What is FESS? Is functional endoscopic sinus surgery. Here, what we do? The treatment for both the type of polyp will be different. In case of AC polyp, what we do? We do functional endoscopic sinus surgery. What we do in functional endoscopic sinus surgery for AC polyp? We do polypectomy to korwe, plus uncinectomy. There is an uncinect process in the nasal cavity. Uncinectomy plus antrostomy. We widen the maxillary ostium. That is the antrostomy, and remove the polyp. This is the procedure for AC polyp. But in case of ethmoidal polyp, we do FESS. And if the polyp is not present in the maxilla, then we directly go to the ethmoid. We identify the ethmoidal air cells. Ethmoidal sinus. What do we do? One, ethmoidal bulectomy. And then polypectomy. Okay, these are the surgical treatment. So in short, the medical treatment is sufficient to treat most cases of nasal polyp. If nasal obstruction remained a main problem after medical treatment, then surgical treatment is always indicated. So some important topics are there. One minute. Some important topic. Why AC polyp? In last class I told about the AC polyp, that AC polyp always directed posteriorly in the nasopharynx. Why AC polyp? AC polyp directed posteriorly. Why? There are 5 points you have to remember. This all 5 points. One is the accessory ostium. is directed posteriorly. That maxillary exotiosteum is directed posteriorly. Secondly, the nasal cilia beats in posterior direction. Thirdly, swallowing creates a negative air pressures. Negative pressures posteriorly and drag the AC polyp posteriorly. Fourthly, nasal airflow always directed posteriorly. And pass number 2, act of gravity. You have to remember this all 5 points at least. Porikkat ahe, and most commonly it is asked in Viva. So, most probably almost gote kine cover korisu aru belek to 9. Belek kiba thaki gol niki moi etu bhabisu roba. Belek to 9. Polyp almost I have covered everything, most probably. Differential diagnosis to follow. Now almost all I have covered. So anything doubt you have? Karbar doubt ase niki? I have covered up nasal polyp completely. From clinical features, etiopathogenesis, then clinical features, then management that is include radiological, hematological investigations, endoscopic evaluations, and the treatment both the medical treatment, this is conservative medical treatment, and the surgical treatment. So I have covered everything. If anything doubt, you can ask me later on also. Anybody has anything, any doubt?
Nice, sir.
Nine. Doubt nine. Buji paisa nai, more kotha buji paisa nai. Kunuba nubuja ase niki? Okay. Doubt thakile hudibo pariba pisoto. I will end my class here because polyp is I have completed. Next class moi beleg eta sam ki lobo paru sai lom moi janam pisot. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I will end my class here. Okay. Thank you.